Hi guys, I'm back and I thought I would give you my thoughts on Green Lantern. Now, I went to see Green Lantern last night with a bunch of friends and I have to say the prognosis isn't good. Now, I should explain before I get into the meat of this review, this kind of first impressions video, that I'm not a DC fan, but that didn't mean that I went to this movie wanting to hate it or having anything against it. I don't like DC Comics, but I wanted this movie to be good because I want all superhero movies to be good because then they'll make more of them. And although this movie being bad doesn't affect, Marvel movies, which are my favourites being made, it does affect the overall way that people see superhero movies as a whole, which could affect more Marvel movies being made. So I wanted this movie to be good. And it really, really isn't. I mean, I'm sorry to DC fans out there, I really am, because I'm sure a lot of them wanted this movie to be good, and it's just not. It's awful. I mean, there are so many ways that have already been covered in other reviews on more reputable websites about why this movie is awful, but I'm going to go into them again because it just, someone needs to bear witness to the things that are wrong with this movie before all the fanboys start screaming about how it was misunderstood. Okay, so first off, everything that people said on the internet about the special effects being unpolished and kind of really, really poor is absolutely true. I mean, throughout the whole movie, it felt like I was watching a Disney animation, not a Pixar animation, an early Disney CGI animation. The special effects on some places were that bad. There's a particular scene on the Green Lantern homeworld where Ryan Reynolds is flying around and that you can see the fact that his head is disconnected from his body. It's that terrible looking. Also, the very, very, by now infamous thing of the mask looking unrealistic is still there. It looks terrible, the mask. In fact, you can see the lines where the mask connects to his face and they're not properly connected. The mask kind of floats there on his face and it looks really bad. I mean, they try and cover it up by blurring out the line between his actual face and the mask to make it look like they're connected, but it still has this kind of floating, uncanny feel to it, which really drags the film down. Some of the alien Green Lanterns, they look quite good, but they've obviously had more time given to them than Ryan Reynolds in all his airbrushed glory has, and it just doesn't feel realistic. I mean, you can tell that you're seeing something that's CGI. It's really quite. It takes you out of the movie when you can see that the special effects are that bad. It destroys your suspension of disbelief, which is the main point of going to see a film, especially a superhero film. So that was pretty bad. And then there were the Green Lantern construct effects themselves, which looked like something that you do for a computer animation degree project. That's the kind of thing. They were very simple constructs. They were one color, even when they were, even though when they were interacting with other people, again they looked fake. I mean, there's a particular scene where Hal Jordan gives his girlfriend, who we'll get to later because I hate that character of his girlfriend. He gives his girlfriend a necklace made of the Green Lantern energy, and all the while it's sat on her neck, you can see it standing apart from her neck. It looks obviously fake, and all of this is really bad for, again, for this special disbelief and for enjoying the movie as a whole. There are other problems with special effects where they look good as well, like the Guardians of Oa. I'm not sure what they're meant to look like in the comics because I've never read one, but to me they look like the Ugly Martians. They were really, really, really bad, like terrible. Like I thought I was watching a Cartoon Network animated thing. Um, what else? Oh yeah, moving on from the special effects and moving on from how terrible they were, you'd think in a movie where the special effects are bad, you could at least save it with the script or something. But no, the script is also really, really, really bad. Like not only is the dialogue really cliche, there's also certain scenes that are so cliche it's beyond belief. Like early on in the film, there's a flashback scene, and it is the single most cliched flashback scene I've seen in any film. Like literally any. It's like, let's have the most cliched motivation and the most cliched backstory ever, and it's really, really bad. And it's also the fact that Ryan Reynolds isn't playing a character; he's just playing Ryan Reynolds, who happens to have superpowers and be a fighter pilot. That is all that he does. It's mind-boggling how people in the movie industry think, okay, yeah, we'll cast Ryan Reynolds in our movie because he's right to play the character, and then all he does really is play every other character he's always played in film, and he's not really playing a character. Like, I don't know much about the character of Hal Jordan, as I said, because I don't like DC and don't read DC comics, but it struck me as he was just playing, the same character as Hannibal King in Blade Trinity, or Van Wilder, or any other movie that he's been in. And that was really off-putting. The Hector, the Doctor Hector guy that gets infected with the Sinestro virus. Spoilers, sorry. Mark Strong is a really good actor, and yet all he did in that film was scream. Like every other second, he was like, "Ah!" It was really, really annoying and really, really stupid. Like every time he did that screaming thing, I just laughed. I mean, there were kids in the audience of the movie, that the showing that I went to see, and I had to stop myself from laughing because I thought I might have disturbed the audience. I had to stuff my fist in my mouth to stop from laughing at those horrible, horrible scenes. And then and then there are the special effects that they use to make him look evil was to give him like a massive swollen head and a really big puffed up chin. I don't know whether that was to do with the effect of the fear power or something, but it made it look really stupid. It was like some kind of gnarled Quasimodo type thing. It was really, really ridiculous. Oh, I'm sorry. Every time I think about this movie, I just burst out laughing because it was so, so awful. Um, the script was really messy as well. Like I'm a writer semi-professionally. Writing books and writing essays and occasional screenplays is what I do for a living, and or I should say not for a living. It's what I aspire to do. Sorry. And as a writer, I was listening to the script as it went along, and there were some major, major plot holes. I mean, like there's a bit where Sinestro creates the thing that will make him Sinestro without giving away any more spoilers. And he creates a device that leads into him becoming Sinestro in the comics, but it's never used. Like ever. It comes up on the screen and it's never used. And that is the worst part of that's filmmaking 101. If you put a device on screen, use it. Don't just bring it in, show it like, oh, yellow power ring. Sorry. And then like shove it away off screen when it's no longer needed. That was completely ridiculous. I didn't stay past the credits, so if there was another scene past the credits where the yellow powering was explained, I don't know if there was one. You might have to get back to me and tell me there was, but I didn't see it. The only saving grace, I think, of this entire movie were the scenes in space. Because space always looks cool, but we know that space is cool, so we don't need. That doesn't really save the movie. That's just like a given. I think that generally speaking, the dialogue was really bad, the characterization was really bad, the special effects were really bad, Green Lantern on a whole sucks. I think watching Green Lantern was actually my punishment for betraying Marvel and going to see this movie. So I'm not going to go see it again. I'm not going to buy it on DVD. I'm just going to wait for Captain America to come out and heal myself of the wounds I have taken watching this awful film. Okay, panel hopper out. Bye. Terrible fucking movie.